Every once in a while, there's a moment, a single week that completely redefines an entire industry. Well, for artificial intelligence, that week was March 8th to the 15th, 2026. It was a genuine turning point. So let's dive in and break down how that one week really set the stage for everything that's happening now in AI. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the massive shift we're going to talk about. We're moving way past the buzzwords, way past the hype. This is the story of how AI stopped being some far-off futuristic idea and became a real operational part of our everyday lives. And this is a fundamental change, right? The big news from this week wasn't about some theoretical models in a lab. No, it was all about deploying AI into real-world systems, systems that millions of us use and that cost billions of dollars to actually run. That's exactly what it means for AI to be operational. We're talking about it being integrated directly into the apps on your phone, into the massive infrastructure that runs our companies, and even into the tools that are driving brand new scientific discoveries. It's not just a cool concept anymore, it's here. So whenever a shift this huge happens, it creates a whole new landscape for competition. And all the key developments from this wild week can really be understood as these big conflicts happening across three major battlegrounds. We're going to walk through each one. First up, Arena 1, the hardware war. This is all about the physical foundation of AI. We're talking about the chips that power this entire revolution. And the biggest move this week came from NVIDIA, which made this huge strategic pivot that pretty much caught the whole industry by surprise. And get this, the scale of NVIDIA's commitment is just staggering. We're talking an investment of up to $26 billion into open source models and new platforms. This signals a massive shift. They're not just trying to build better GPUs anymore. They're completely rethinking the entire hardware setup for a totally new kind of AI. And that new kind of AI? It's called agentic AI. So instead of just answering a question you ask it, think of these systems more like a team of digital workers. They can handle complex, multi-step tasks all by themselves. And this is the tech that's driving that whole shift in hardware. Okay, so to really get this shift, you have to know the difference between these two chips. For years, GPUs were the absolute rock stars, right? They were perfect for training these giant AI models. But agentic AI, it needs a conductor, something to manage all its different tasks in a logical order. And that conductor is the CPU, which all of a sudden has become the new bottleneck in the system. And if you want to know why NVIDIA is making this pivot, all you have to do is follow the money. This projection from Bank of America tells the whole story. The market for CPUs that are built for AI is set to more than double in just 5 years. NVIDIA is making a huge bet that the future isn't just about training the models, but about running them as these smart, autonomous agents. Okay, so that brings us to our second arena, which builds right on top of the first one, the product war. Now that the hardware is shifting, the tech giants are in this absolutely fierce battle to get these powerful AI agents into the apps that you and I use every single day. And the fight for your screen got intense this week. Google rolled out its Ask Maps feature, powered by Gemini, to its 2 billion users. Then you have Anthropic, which gave its chatbot Claude a persistent memory for free users and even launched a tool to help people switch over from ChatGPT. And of course, OpenAI didn't just sit back. It launched a GPT 5.4, a new model that can actually control a computer on its own, aimed right at the corporate world. This is a head-to-head fight for users. Now for our third and final arena, the governance race. As AI gets more and more powerful and woven into our lives, there's this global scramble to write the rules for it. The big problem? The technology is moving at light speed, and the regulations are struggling to keep up. And you can see different approaches playing out all over the world. Over in the EU, they're working to streamline their Big AI Act to try and keep pace. Meanwhile, in the US, especially in sensitive areas like healthcare, the big debate is how to create guardrails without completely slamming the brakes on innovation. There's just no global agreement, and that creates a really uncertain world for developers and companies. So we've seen the battles over hardware, products, and governance. But what does it all really mean for us? Let's bring this down to earth and look at the actual tangible consequences of this new era of operational AI. Why does any of this matter? Well, a report that came out from NVIDIA this week paints a really clear picture. A whopping 86% of companies are planning to increase their AI budgets in 2026. This isn't just play money for experiments anymore. Businesses are seriously investing to make their workflows better and find totally new ways to use this tech. The economic impact is real, and it's happening now. And it goes way beyond just business. This week, NASA confirmed that the Perseverance rover on Mars completed its first ever routes planned entirely by an AI, using tech from Anthropic. This new system cut the planning time in half. That's a huge breakthrough that could speed up future missions to other planets. It's AI as a tool for pure discovery. But, and this is a really big but, with all this amazing opportunity comes some very significant risks. As this technology gets easier for everyone to use, we have to face its potential for misuse. And this raises a critical question, especially as we look ahead to Brazil's 2026 elections. According to researchers and legal experts, these threats aren't some distant possibility. They are real and they are immediate. We're talking about the ability to create convincing deepfakes to smear candidates, to spread disinformation on a massive scale, and to generate fake audio and video that's almost impossible to tell from the real thing. This is a direct threat to the integrity of the whole democratic process. So you see the two sides of the coin, right? On one hand, this incredible, mind-bending acceleration in what AI can do, and on the other, this growing shadow of risk. That leaves us with one fundamental question as we wrap all this up. This is really the key takeaway from all of this. The technology is no longer waiting for us to get ready. It's already here, it's operational, and it is moving faster every single day. The question isn't if AI will change our world anymore. The question is how we're going to adapt to the world it's already changing. Are we, as people, as a society, truly ready for what's coming next?
I mean, if all of this can happen in just a single week, you can only imagine what the next month or the next year will look like. Things are moving so fast. If you want to keep up with these transformations where AI, tech, and the economy all meet, be sure to follow the Macroeconomic IA channel. We'll be here breaking it all down for you.
And just one last very important thing. All of this analysis is for educational and informational purposes only, okay? It is not investment advice. We're just compiling publicly available information from different sources to help make sense of it all. Thanks so much for watching.